All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a massive strategic shift that's happening in the accounting world right now. It's all about how smart US CPA firms are using outsourcing to India, and not just to save a few bucks. No, they're using it as a secret weapon to actually fuel their growth and get their teams focused on what really moves the needle. Does any of this sound familiar? If you're running a CPA firm, I'm willing to bet you're feeling this. Just drowning in compliance work, right? The endless search for good people. And all while you're trying to keep your margins from disappearing. It's a tough cycle. But what if there's a way out? And that's where this strategic shift to India comes in. Now, I want to be really, really clear on this. This is not just about finding cheaper labor. Not at all. This is a deliberate move to build a practice that isn't just surviving, but is actually built to thrive for the long haul. What we're seeing is the most forward-thinking firms are using this strategy to free up their most precious resource, their people, their in-house team, from that daily grind of compliance. And that lets them focus on the stuff that actually drives growth, like high-value advisory work and, building real relationships with clients. So you're probably asking, okay, how does this actually work? What's the secret sauce? Well, it really boils down to 3 core pillars, 3 key advantages that make this whole model just so incredibly powerful. Let's break them down. It's really this powerful trio. First, you get access to a massive, highly skilled talent pool that you just can't find at home. Second, you unlock some pretty significant cost efficiencies. And third, you gain this level of scalability and flexibility that's, well, it's pretty much impossible to get with a traditional team. Okay, so pillar number 1, talent. We're not talking about just any accountants here. India has this huge pool of professionals who are specifically trained in US standards. Think about that. These are people who already know US GAAP, the official rulebook for American accounting, and they get the complexities of US tax law. They can literally hit the ground running. Next up, pillar 2, cost. And yeah, the lower labor and operational costs are a big deal, but the real strategic play here is what you do with those savings. See, the best firms don't just pocket the difference. They reinvest that money into building out their advisory services, and that's where the real sustainable growth comes from. And pillar 3, scalability. Honestly, this one is a total game changer, especially when tax season hits. Just imagine being able to instantly add skilled pros to your team to handle that massive surge in work, and then, just as easily, scale back down, all without the headache and crazy cost of hiring and then laying off temporary staff in the US. This slide right here really just puts it all in perspective. Look at the difference. A traditional team, you're stuck with a local talent pool, high costs, and scaling is a nightmare. But the real story is that bottom row, focus. Your in-house team is constantly torn between compliance and advisory. This model fixes that. It lets your US team focus 100% on the high-value stuff that actually grows the business. That's the strategic win. Okay, so the why is pretty clear. But what about the how? How does this actually work day to day without turning into total chaos? Well, the answer is a really smart mix of technology and using the time zone difference to your advantage. It's called the follow the sun model, and it is brilliant. Think about it. Your US team finishes their day, they assign out the work, and they log off. Then, while you're sleeping, the team in India is getting it done. They're cranking out those returns, doing the bookkeeping, so when your team walks in the next morning, boom, the completed work is just sitting there ready for review. It's like you're running a 24-hour shop. And all of this is built on a solid foundation of tech. We're talking about things like super secure portals for sharing client data, so everything is locked down. Workflow tools that track every single task, so you always know what's going on. And even some really cool AI, like natural language processing, that can literally read a document and pull out the important numbers for you. It saves so much time. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It all sounds great in theory, but you've probably got some big questions. So let's just tackle the 2 most common concerns I hear right up front. This is always question number 1, and it should be. Data security is everything in this business. So let's ask it plainly. Is your client's sensitive information really safe? And the answer is a very firm yes. Because for any serious provider, security is priority number 1, 2, and 3. They use things like heavy-duty data encryption, really strict controls on who can see what, and ironclad confidentiality agreements to make sure your data is protected. Okay, the other big question is usually about size. People wonder, is this just a strategy for the giant multinational firms, or can a small or medium-sized practice, like mine, actually make this work? And the answer here is absolutely. In fact, that's the whole beauty of this model. It's built to be scalable. The teams are put together specifically for your firm's needs. So whether you need help with 5 clients or 500, the model just flexes with you. It's a powerful tool for firms of pretty much any size. So let's kind of pull this all together. When you look at all the different pieces, it becomes really obvious that this isn't just some small operational tweak. It's a full-on transformation of your business model. It's about turning outsourcing into a real engine for your firm's growth. And really, it all comes down to this quote here. It's about cutting down on the day-to-day operational stress so you can sharpen your focus and point it directly at the advisory services that your clients really want and that will actually grow your firm for years to come. So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. This strategy lets you fundamentally upgrade the kind of work your best people are doing. You're not just offloading tasks. You are elevating your team's entire purpose, from just processing numbers to becoming true strategic partners for your clients. And that really leaves us with one final, and I think pretty powerful question to think about. If your most talented, most experienced people were completely freed from the grind of compliance, what new services could they create? What deeper relationships could they build? What could your firm actually become?